Hello, friends. My name is Yolanda Giles, and I'm the Deputy Executive Director of Harambee International Development. And I am honored to come before you today to give you some information about the work that we do in Harambee. And first of all, Harambee is a Swahili word, which means working together. And that's what we're doing as we partner with Cindy Dennis Ministries. I would like to start out by talking a little bit about what we do, our vision and our mission of what Harambee does. Harambee is a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving the quality of life and promoting self-sufficiency and business development for individuals and communities in Africa and its diaspora. Harambee is dedicated to providing essential services and assistance to those in need through its clean water systems, educational, agricultural, microcredit, and health programs. And our vision is to develop a series of successful developmental program models that can be repeated, sustained, and transferred across national, cultural, and environmental boundaries. And our mission is to collaborate with African governments, and the diaspora, U.S. government, and other organizations to develop sustainable, clean water systems, agricultural, educational, medical, and economic development programs. And that is to reduce poverty in the country. Harambee is a charitable institution under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code Service Code. And Harambee is headquartered in Alexandria, Virginia, with a field office in Soroti, Uganda. Now, some of the things I'd like to mention about education is that we give tuition assistance and stipends for primary, secondary, and college education. We give job skill training assistance. We give business training for micro and small businesses. Currently in Uganda right now, we have training that we're doing for the young girls. Young girls have had problems staying in school because of their menstrual cycle. They were unable to have the necessary sanitary pads to go to school. And so it was embarrassing for them, to go to school and not have these items. So they would stay home. And they would get teased by the boys and that sort of thing. So we started this program for the girls to make reusable sanitary pads because they can't use the regular sanitary items that we have, like we have in the U.S., because they have no way of disposing of them. Their infrastructure is not set up to dispose of sanitary pads. So we have little business for them to make their own reusable pads. And so they have had much success with that. And we've put together kits for that so that they can use them and go back to school. And that has been very successful, and they are very excited about that. As far as agricultural and economic development is concerned, we have provided kits to help with the internally displaced people's camps. These were people who were driven away from their homelands due to war and violence. And this helped to reestablish their economic viability. These kits included providing animals, food, clothing, farm tools, plows, seeds, and business educational training. We were awarded U.S. Embassy Ambassador's Grant to develop oxen farming economic development projects in another area called Lira, Uganda. And this microcredit that I was talking about earlier is a revolving fund to assist individuals and small groups to establish business enterprises. And it's a low interest rate, loans with flexible repayment plans to ensure the successful repayment of the money. And so these young girls and women would, this would help them to get sewing machines, help them to have a fruit stand on the road. And this was so exciting for them. They were able to make their own money to provide for their families. We have the, as far as health is concerned, we distribute medical supplies, medical equipment, and educational information to healthcare facilities and community health organizations. And so these things were not only done in Uganda, but they were done in St. Kitts, where we help with the medical for the senior citizens, also for the hospitals there. We had people that worked in fields here where they were given medical supplies. And so we just take those things and take them with us to Uganda and those places that were in need. Water and sanitation. Now, we reduced the incidence of water-related diseases by building water wells that provided sources of clean water. Now, how many of you know that clean water is life? Clean water is providing health. Now, people that kids couldn't go to school also because of malaria disease. People were dying in the community from malaria. And so when we were able to provide clean water wells, we have 6 water wells already installed. And the 6th one that we're going to dedicate in August when we go to Uganda, that will be dedicated to them. And it melts my heart to see a young child come up with a bucket of an empty bucket and pump the water with their little hands, and the water comes out. Whereas before, they would have to put the yellow bucket on their heads, walk for 5 miles to get clean water. Now, the clean water wells that we put in will serve about 3,000 people within a 5-mile radius. And that is a tremendous help to these people. And so they are so excited about just having clean water. I know we in the U.S., we get anxiety when our pipes are not working well and we get a little bit of brown in our water, but that has been a way of life for them in Uganda, where they have not been able to drink clean water. And with the agricultural, we have purchased and provided cattle to needy families to initiate self-sustaining wealth and health development. The firstborn calves that were born were returned to the project for redistribution to other needy families. And that has been very successful throughout Lira and in Soroti. Food and clothing distributions, I've already talked about that, but this has been a wonderful support that we have given them. And as far as the clean water is concerned, again, we have provided in the past water wash bay areas. And I think I had mentioned this before, that these women were bent over trying to wash sheets from the hospital, where they had to put sheets on the bed, and their sheets were not like our sheets. They had rags and things for people to lie on the sheets. And when they didn't have enough beds in the hospital, they would have mats out under the tree outside of the hospital, and family members would come. Instead of nurses, they would be the nurses to help with their loved ones. They would only have about 1 doctor and a couple of assistants that would help the doctor for 500 people in the hospital. So that kind of thing, we have it so easy here in the U.S. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that this is a need for the people in Uganda and in the diaspora. Just to bring to your attention also that we have a couple of trips coming up next year in 2024, one going to Ghana in March, and we are in need of laptops and computers to go to to Ghana. And we're trying to ship those over there before we get there. But the schools are in need. The Ashanti tribe that we are working with there are in need of laptops. And so we're asking for your help for that trip. Also, we have a cultural immersion trip going to South Africa in 2024, in October of 2024. And these trips, the cultural immersion tours, are good for people who have never been to Africa, that would like to know more about Africa and where they have come from. And so it is a great experience for those who are interested in that. And then they can actually see the need. It is just so good to see the need for yourself. It's good for me to tell you about it, but it's even better when you can see the need, and it will get into your heart as to what to do and what God would want you to do to help his people. So, and in Brazil, the shoes and clothing we have provided there, you'd be surprised as to how many people are in need of shoes and just basic clothing. So I just want to thank Cindy Dennis Ministries right now for highlighting Harambee and for giving us the opportunity to showcase what we do. And we are looking forward to collaborating with you in the future. And would love for you to go out to our website, which is www.harambeecares.org. And that's spelled HARAMBEECARES, harambeecares.org. My email address is yogiles57@gmail.com. If you would like to contact me for more information, I would love to hear from you. And thank you all for listening today. God bless. Have a blessed day.